So today is the big day. I'm going to redo the roof on the RV. So this is going to be fun. It's going to be about 95 degrees today. It's going to be pretty hot, but it's got to be done. Here's what it looks like.
We bought the stuff to replace the roof on the RV, but we didn't order it in a roll, so when it came folded up, and so we probably are gonna, well, not probably, we're going to bring it up here to the church. This is the only place we can find that's big enough. We had to remove some of the tables and chairs in here in the classrooms, but we're going to bring it up here and we are going to lay it out flat and let the creases kind of just go away on their own, or kind of let it relax. Yeah, we're going to let it relax a little bit, and then Shane's going to roll it up so then we can store it until he's ready to actually put the roof on the RV. So we've come back over to the next day here at the church to see how the roofing material, the TPO material, has relaxed. And I don't know if you can tell this in the camera, but the right side is kind of relaxed, but the left side seems to be has some pooches still in it. Pooches? Well, what do you call those? Wrinkles? Wrinkles, maybe not pooches, but anyway. So Shane is going to roll it up on a PVC pipe, and then we're going to take it outside in the parking lot and see if the sun will help relax it a little bit more.
What I've discovered is, well, at least someone online said that they took a PVC pipe and taped it to it and rolled it up on it, and that way it's easier to unroll later, and also it's easier to it's just easier to handle. So we're going to take it outside and put it on the asphalt out there to see, because it's really hot today, and see if that'll help relax it and get some of the wrinkles out. And then I'll already have a pipe there. I can just roll it back up on and make it easy to handle. And first of all, I'm just going to get it going. And by the way, to have it shipped already rolled up is $250 extra, because it'd be, you know, 8 or 9 feet long and heavy and an awkward package, and it would probably, you know, cost a lot more in shipping. So I'm not paying that when I can roll it up myself.
Shane is blowing off the parking lot. We're going to lay the TPO roofing out here on the parking lot on the asphalt in the sun. Hopefully it'll help it kind of relax a little bit more. So he's just blowing it off so there won't be so many asphalt rocks and stuff on the pavement.
Stuff here is Eternabond tape. People use it to patch things up, but as you can see, it's really sticky and messy to try to take off. But if you use a multi-tool like this with a flat blade on it, a scraper blade, it usually cuts right through it, but it's still really sticky. So I gotta go all the way around and all the way around to all the openings and take everything off. Started working on it here, but there's some wood right there, bad wood, but already knew that was there because there's a water spot on the inside above the driver's seat. But here's the tool you use, multi-tool, to get this off. Okay, so when you take the AC unit cover off, well, it depends on your setup, but on this one, it's a ducted system, so it's a little bit more challenging. But what we're going to do is we've got a lot of these wires disconnected, but a lot of them go to the thermostat and different things down in there. So we're going to get some tape and number them so that we know how they're connected when we go to reinstall it. We don't want to mix any wires up. So that's what we're going to do now. There's numbered stickers. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah. 0 and 0. Those are pretty good. They'll stay on there pretty good. Okay, we can take them two apart. Let's see which one. This is the one going there. We'll put this wire nut on this thing because it goes back in the house there. Okay, there's one. Number 2. There's no 0. I mean, that's 0.
0.
Yeah, I generally don't ever start on 0, but I did here, and we're going to here. And get that one off there. Okay. We got one more vent pipe in that thing there, huh?
Okay, so once you get the Turnabond tape off and you get all the screws out, then you can take all your vents and your skylights and things off of the roof.
Okay, this is day 2 for the roof installation, and here's what it looks like with everything off of it. This roof is supposed to be white, but the top layer is worn off, so it's mostly black. And I'm going back on the roof with some TPO instead of this EPDM, the rubber roof. TPO is better in moist climates, or humid climates, which is Arkansas is definitely that category. Back and see how many hidden leaks there are and how much wood you're going to have to replace. Okay, so when you get all the rubber pulled back, then you got to go find all the pieces of wood that you need to replace. Obviously, that's rotten. So that's one piece, one sheet of plywood. And that's a seam there, so I might keep that piece of wood over here, but I'm going to replace this one. So there's two pieces of plywood. That board is just colored differently for some reason, but it's all dry. That's just a piece that came off of a layer that I'll fill that back in. It's not water damage, and that's not really water damage. If it is, it's not significant enough to worry about. But on this side of that same piece of wood, it's rotten right here. Here's the seam right here. So that's 3 pieces plywood, 4 pieces. That one's good. And then that's bad. And that's definitely bad. So that's 5 pieces of plywood. With the price of lumber today, that's probably about $5,000. No, just kidding. It's going to be expensive though. So that's what it's going to take to get it back to normal. But that's what Eternabond tape usually hides, is stuff like that. If you didn't know any better, you would think that, well, I'll just put another coating over this roof and it'll be okay, but no, it's not okay. It needs to be taken off and redone. There's screws. This strip, the roofing goes across here and under that, and this is aluminum, so it wraps around the side. But the new roofing goes under this strip here, and there's a screw every 2 inches, all the way down, all the way around. So there's several hundred screws that have to come out. You know, it's one of those things. It's just a lot of tedious work. When you get the strip off, there's the metal underneath, but it is screwed down ever so often to keep it attached. But I'm just going to leave that. There's no reason to take that off. Fiberglass cap comes way over further than I thought, so that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this board, and when I get some new panels, I'm going to lay this on top of it and trace out where the other holes were. But the only 2 holes I'm keeping are where the air horn was. I have 2 air lines that come up to attach to the air horns. So I just want to find out where those holes are at. This one and then that one over there. I'm not putting back in the old crank up antenna. I'm just going to put as few holes as possible in this new roof. One of the reasons why we chose Newmar is because of the quality of the way they build them and the way they insulate them and everything. So I don't know if you can see this, but this is, well, obviously there's insulation here, but this is there's a piece of wood that the ceiling fabric is attached to. So there's more wood, styrofoam, looks like about a 1/2 inch thick, and then this insulation, and then another piece of ply, a piece of wood on top of this, and then there's the roofing on top of that, the roofing membrane. So it's made very well, and it's insulated very well, and that's why it holds its temperature inside a lot better than most RVs would. We've got the wood, and what we've done here is got the new wood here and put the old wood that come off of the roof on top of it, so that we can find out exactly the size of it first of all, and also where the holes are that I want to keep. This hole, I'm keeping that one up for the air horn, the supply line that comes up that attaches to the air horn, and also this one. So that's the only 2 holes I'm keeping. These other ones were for different things that we don't have anymore, so we're going to ignore those. So basically I'm just going to draw a line around it and cut it out. So now I'm going to use a skill saw to cut the lines that I made. And I'm going to wear these big giant, not very effective safety glasses, but hey, we'll see. Well, I might not see. Well, I found that these wheels here, they have those little wires. It's a wire wheel, and they'll fly off and they'll stick in you. Well, that's why I got the face mask. And this leather, an apron, a leather apron, it keeps it from sticking in your stomach, because they'll fly off and stick into you, which is not a pleasant thing, obviously. But what I'm doing here, you can see the obvious results. This is after I've cleaned it, all this, and this is before. See how dirty all that Dicor stuff is still on there? But this wire wheel takes it right off. This is what goes around the TPO material and clamps it down to the roof. So whenever you put down the new wood, if there's some old wood that you still have on the roof, sometimes the new wood may be a little bit, just a slight bit taller, like in my situation. So what you can do is you can take that same grinder wheel that I was using to clean off the transition strips, and if you got stiff enough bristles like I do on this one, you can see it's got the tell, but anyway, it's a wire wheel, but it's more stiff, so it will take off the it'll smooth the wood out for you. So it's like having a high-speed sander, really. So here's what it does. Wood rot back here at the back. Look what's underneath it. Mold. Lots of mold. So I'm gonna have to change that out, that insulation.
So apparently today we're sporting the knee pads. Are they helping any?
Oh yeah. Yeah, my knees were sore.
So now they help?
Yeah. But on this here, what we have here is, this is a piece of new wood going on the roof, but there's a cutout for the vent here.
You've already got it marked.
Got it marked. You just lay the old piece on top of the new piece and trace it out all the way around. And then whenever you have something like this, you can drill the holes in the corners with a drill bit. That way you can get in your jigsaw in there and cut it out. So if you have holes in your RV roof wood, the panels on top, like this one, where something used to be that you don't want to put something back there, but you want to plug that hole in before you put your new roofing on, there's a way to, or at least my way to fix it is just take a piece of wood and put a screw in it, and then you could stick it in the hole. I'm going to put some wood glue on each end of it. There we go. You don't really have to use the wood glue. It's just something extra. So you just stick that underneath there and you use a screw to hang on. And then you just put another screw in to hold it down. So then you can, after you get that tacked in there, and then you can just take this one out and then fill in the rest of it with wood putty. Because you don't put anything in there, there will be nothing backing it up and holding on to it. The wood putty will just fall right through the first time you step on the new roof. Okay, everything's cleaned off and getting ready to put the roof on. The rooster crowing in the middle of the day. half of it, half of the TPO material, pour the glue out, roll it out with a roller, and then smooth it out, and then I'll do the front half after that. seal it off, and then you put Dicor over the top of that to seal the screw holes off on the top too.